Welcome back to Speller Tutorial Services. In this video we're going to solve a natural logarithmic equation, and here we have the natural log of the quantity x plus 6 minus the natural log of the quantity x minus 4, and that's set equal to the natural log of x. We're going to begin here on the left hand side. Through the properties of logarithms, I know that if I'm subtracting two logarithms with the same base, and that includes natural logarithms, that means that can be rewritten as a division problem or condensed into a single logarithm through division. So here I have the natural log of the quantity x plus 6 divided by x minus 4, and I'll set that equal to the natural log of x. Now I want to get these natural logs to the same side, so I'm going to subtract the natural log of x from both sides, and I end up with the natural log of the quantity x plus 6 divided by x minus 4 minus the natural log of x, and all that set equal to 0 because this part here resolves to 0. Again, notice I have two natural logs that are separated by subtraction, so now I can again condense this into a division problem where I'm going to end up creating a complex fraction. So here I have natural log of x plus 6 divided by x minus 4. My denominator becomes this x, and I know I can rewrite that as just x over 1. And again, all of this is set equal to 0. A note that I want to make here is that the log of base e is the same thing as a natural log. So what I'm going to do with that information is convert this logarithmic equation into an exponential equation. So my base in this case for a natural log is e. I'm going to raise it to the power of 0, and I'm going to set e equal to this complex fraction, but I'm going to move it around a little bit to help make it easier to solve. I'm going to keep my numerator, which is the x plus 6 divided by x minus 4, and I'm going to end up multiplying by the reciprocal. That's just a big word that means flip the denominator. So my denominator becomes 1 over x, and at this point I'm going to go ahead and begin resolving. E to the 0, matter of fact, any number to the 0 power turns out to be a 1, and now I'm going to multiply straight across my numerator and denominator. 1 times x plus 6 is just x plus 6, and then x times x minus 4. I distribute this x to end up with a x squared minus 4x, and I'm going to make this 1 have a denominator of 1. At this point I can cross multiply, and I cross multiply to get rid of the fractions to make this easier to solve. So 1 times x plus 6 gives me x plus 6, and then 1 times x squared minus 4x gives me x squared minus 4x. At this point I see this is a quadratic equation, so I want to get all of my terms to one side. So I'm going to subtract x and subtract 6 from the left hand side, which means I have to subtract x and subtract 6 from the right hand side. In doing so, the left hand side resolves down to 0. I have x squared. 4x minus x gives me a negative 5x, and then I bring down my negative 6. At this point I see I can factor by hand. I need to get the factors of negative 6 that add up to a negative 5, and those factors would be a negative 6 and a positive 1. And again, that has to be set equal to 0. Now I can take each one of my factors and set those to 0, and then I can begin to solve for x. So here I see that x has to be 6, and also x is negative 1. So these are my two potential answers. Now let's go back to the equation and substitute these values in to figure out if they're both valid, or to verify these answers. Let's use this equation here to do the substitution. So let's start with x equals 6. So I have the natural log of 6 plus 6 to give me a numerator of 12, and then 6 minus 4 to give me a denominator of 2. And I'm going to end up subtracting that from the natural log of 6. And again, that stuff there should be set equal to 0. As I resolve this part here, I have the natural log of 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the natural log of 6 minus the natural log of 6 is in fact 0. So I know that x minus 6 is a solution. Now let's test the x minus 1. Again, back to this same equation here. Okay, now natural log, I'm going to use negative 1 plus 6 to give me a 5, and then I have negative 1 minus the 4 to give me a negative 5, minus the natural log of negative 1. At this point I can stop because I know that anytime I have a natural log or a log, I cannot take the natural log or log of a negative number. So I know that this x minus 1 is an extraneous solution. My solution for this problem is only x equals 6. Alright, that sums it up for this video by Spello Tutorial Services. Please friend us on Facebook and also subscribe to that YouTube channel found under the name Spello Tutorial. And thank you again for watching.